Of course, when I decide to record, there's like some bird just taking over. But I guess I can't be mad because this is their environment. But today I really wanted to talk about something that I've been struggling with, my journey that I've been going through for these past 2 weeks. And kind of how I've been feeling about my burnout. Working as a mental health therapist is very draining. It's also rewarding at the same time, but I think just kind of knowing your boundaries and when to let go is really important for anyone to know, right? So let's jump right into it. Hey, love bugs, welcome back to my channel. Hey, my new subscribers, I appreciate you. Okay, let's jump right in. Hopefully by sharing my journey of burnout that I connect with some of you who may be experiencing this. They may not know what to do. Do I hold on? Do I let go? Like, is this normal? I'm here to tell you today, it's completely normal. No matter what profession you're in, no matter how long you've been in the profession or how soon you got into the profession, burnout is a real thing. And I think it's important to be able to check in with yourself, to let yourself know that this may not be for you, or maybe you need to take a step back. So today I really wanted to talk about my journey with burnout. So I've been doing therapy for about 2 years, but I've been in the mental health field for a total of 7 years. Recently I've been at my agency about 4 years, and I just kind of felt this unmotivated feeling. I felt depressed. I had a hard time actually going to sleep because in my mind I had a thought of like, when I wake up, I'm going to be at work again. And I know in the past I've never felt this way before. So it kind of just tapped into me like, girl, you need a break. So I kept trying pushing myself for like a good, I'd say 3 weeks, still working as a therapist, right? And so as my journey continued, right, I started to feel this unmotivated feeling. It took me like 10 times longer to do documentation when it normally would take me maybe 15 to 20 minutes, but it was taking me like an hour, 2 hours. And then to revert back to my sleep, I just remember when I could sleep, I'd wake up at 3 in the morning and wake up with like anxiety, with like heart palpitations, like there's so many deadlines. Am I gonna get fired? Because I felt this sense of just like, I felt this sense of like pressure. Like I felt like I was trapped. My heart, my thoughts, my life. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love what I do. Even during this time of me feeling this burnout, when I connected with my clients, I felt like that was the only energy that I was able to receive, and it was good energy, right? When I see my clients that are not doing so well and they may need that extra support, someone to listen to them, someone to, use that simple reflection so they hear themselves, right? I had the motivation to do that. I enjoy that, but it just came down to the aftermath of that, right? Doing that documentation of that and just deadlines. And I finally let go. But before I let go, my breaking point was I have a 4-year-old and she's pretty bright. I'm not just trying to be biased, but I think she's pretty bright for a 4-year-old. So there was 2 incidents that happened with my daughter. One was that really like broke my heart and also made me kind of tap in like, hey, like you need to take a break. And I think that happens for a lot of us, right? Our family may see us kind of going downhill and we may think, okay, I know what's best for me. I need to keep striving. But no, I think it's important to listen to whoever's around you who has your best interests. So my daughter told me one night, she's like, Mom, I'm going to get a new mommy because you're always working. You're never here. You're always working. And when she meant here, she meant present, right? She's like, you never go to bed with me anymore. You are always working. And the second one was when she was at school and they're working on writing and lettering or whatever. And she drew a picture, and then I'm assuming her teacher helped her write the letter, but the letter said, Mom, you were very selfish. You didn't give me a hug and a kiss before you dropped me off. And so in my mind, it broke my heart because it's like I'm so quick and ready to go to work that I forget the important things that are right in front of my face, which is my child, right? To just pour into her before she goes to school, to give her that energy that I'm giving to my clients before she goes to school, right? Because that's very important in early childhood, right? That's where we get those attachment issues, whether it's secure attachment, whether it's an attachment where you're kind of distance avoidant, right? And I don't want her to have that. So in that very moment, I went home and I sat with myself and I said, it's time to take a break. It's time. So I did, and I did just that. And maybe your situation may not be like mine, but maybe you're married, maybe you're in a relationship, and maybe you're working as hard as I was. Or you're neglecting your relationship. Maybe you have a dog. I also neglected my dog. I had my dog with my grandmother for so long. And I missed him. I wasn't able to like walk him or like pet him. Because I was just so fixated on like getting the job done and just like neglecting every single thing around me, including myself. And maybe you don't have a family, maybe you're completely single, no dog. Are you neglecting yourself? Are you putting your job first? Are you burnt out? Like, if so, I hope that this is like a warning sign from the universe or God or whatever you believe in to let go. Take a break. I come from a family where we work hard and breaks are not really acceptable. Taking a break in my family is seen as like weakness. So I think like that's where my core values was coming from, is like, I better keep pushing. If I take time off, I'm going to seem as weak, like I could do this. But in my heart, I could not do that. I was either going to be ending up in a psychiatric hospital or passed out somewhere because I was burnt out. And I really appreciate this time that I've taken off to like listen to my body. And I didn't realize that I was that burnt out. And I never, ever want to put myself through that, where I'm like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning when I have a child, right? Or I'm going to bed super late and then I'm tired at work. I think just finding that balance of what's going to make you happy and the balance of your job or your career, or even being an entrepreneur, or even getting on YouTube to express your story. And that's what I really want to do, is just to normalize this feeling of burnout that modern days working these jobs, these 9-to-5s, like, it's very stressful. And it's not, we don't live in those old school times where, you know, life is easy. I mean, I guess life was probably hard back then too, but I mean, just taking those breaks and being okay with that. So during my journey, the fun part of the story, the first week was so hard. I'm on week 2. I have 3 weeks off, depending on how I feel to go back. But that first week I felt trapped. I felt like my job had so much control over me that I was like scared to do something. I felt like I was doing something wrong, like I was breaking a rule. Like after they gave me the time off, I was still afraid to like get out of this bubble of like freedom. So during my first week off, my job asked for their phone back and their laptop back. In that moment, I felt like a breakup. I was just like, oh, they want their stuff back. Like I kind of got offensive about it. Offended, I guess you should say. And so, but that was like a blessing when they said to give them their stuff back. I felt like once I was able to like physically drop their items off to them, I was like set free. I felt like I was in a bird cage. The door was open and I just didn't know how to get out. But the moment that they told me to return their items, I was set free. And I'm happy that they did that. And I love the policy that they did that, because I probably, knowing me, working hard, I probably would have still checked emails, probably would never call people back, but I probably would have still kept those emails. We all know how emails go. You don't want to get too behind, especially when you go on vacation. But I wasn't looking at this as a vacation. I was looking at this as a way to connect with myself, to find my inner happiness of like a place of where I can make decisions, not based off of impulse, not based off of what people in my life say I should do, but basically based off of what I want to do. So if you're able to watch this video up until this point, I encourage you to listen to your body. Take that break, engage with your loved ones. That's my most biggest advice that I could give you, if I could give you advice, love, is to pour your heart back into your loved ones. My favorite part now, my daughter doesn't really know that I'm off working because she'll like just chatter me away with that, but that I could just spend more time with her, that I can spend time really engaging in those dinners and playing with her after school and practicing soccer with her and just being physically present and just teaching her how to relax as well. I'm gonna post a video, spa, mommy and me spa, with her. I did do a spa. Like I was able, like my creativity, I cannot, oh my God, I get excited talking about it because my creativity is like out the window, like in a good way though. Like it's I can think of so much stuff, and I made me realize of how creative I am. In the past, I would always think like, oh, I wish I was so creative, but when you take that ball of stress away, like your mind gets floated with so much creativity that, I don't know, it's hard to imagine. I think you take that time off, you will understand what I'm talking about, and you too will get excited about this. But I did a spa night with her, and I also, like I said, I want to practice with her like deep breathing and relaxing, and so like I put her feet in this bucket, I just like rubbed her feet, I massaged her, I just poured all my love, like I mentioned earlier, just pour your love into your loved ones, and of course self first. And I told her that she had to be quiet, which is a struggle. Those who have kids that are 4 years old, especially girls, are just chatterbox, but she was actually able to be quiet the entire time. I was so proud of her. I even rubbed her back. I was telling her to deep breathe, just relax, like she's okay. And I think that's really important in parenting and as a child, is to teach your child how to relax, right? Like I said, I was raised, you don't relax, you work hard, you get that money, and you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, and you don't stop. So I want to try to create this system within my family where you need a break, you take that, you check in with yourself, you make a decision from a place where you're not impulsive, where you come from a place of love when you're making your decisions. And I think that's really key. And based off these 2 weeks, that's where I feel I'm able to best make my decisions. So like I said, the first week was such a struggle, just to get back on topic. The second week though, which is I'm in week 2, I feel amazing. I don't even think about work anymore. I feel like I feel amazing because I don't think about work. I'm able to engage with my dog. I'm able to spend time with my daughter. And I'm also able to go out in nature. Like I know you've seen my recent videos, for the new subscribers or old subscribers. If you go back down to my other videos, I'm in my house. But it feels good to be outside, and I think that's really important why the world is created, right? To get that natural light, to get that just connect with nature so you can connect with self. And that was my main purpose, was to just be able to get connected more with nature, so I can connect with myself, right? We both on this earth for some reason, so why not connect? So I wanted to share with you guys a few things that I have been doing during my time off. 1, I've been meditating. 2, I've been journaling like crazy. And 3, I've just been really just checking in with myself daily. So I created this little journal of my own to ask myself these questions, so then I could look back in future days, not future days because that doesn't make sense, from past days, to see where my heart was at. And this is something that I did before taking a break, but I did it a little bit different because, like I said, the creativity came out and I was like, ding, light bulb, my head went off, went on Amazon, got my own little journal, and then started to write down my own prompts, which I'm going to go over. So the first thing that I have on my journal, I put the date, obviously. I put the day that it was the first day of my time off. And then I put deep breathe for 1 to 2 minutes. So I wanted to, so I did my prompts before I actually filled them in. So like I jotted down my ideas, and then when it came to do my journal, which I did before bed, which I had the deep breathe, right? So, because sometimes we forget to just take a deep breath, like for 1 to 2 minutes. So the next one is like, how do you feel emotionally? So again, after I took that deep breath, that kind of helped me remember and think about like, how did I feel emotionally today? Was I happy? Was I overwhelmed? And so I kind of left space so I can go pretty in depth about that emotion. And then I said, what did the day look like for yourself? So I had fun. I scheduled things that I wanted. I think that question is very important. Like, what did your day look like, right? Because sometimes we could go the whole entire day. Sometimes we get to Friday and we're like, dang, that week just kind of flew, right? And then I just want to be able to tap back into that emotion. Like, okay, I felt good, but like, what did I do? What made me feel good that day, right? So then I could get back to that emotion, get back to that mood. And then I had a question on there. What would I have done differently? I think that's a really good question. I think it's really important if you're going to take a break from work is to schedule. Nothing that's going to be too strict where it's going to be stressful. But so therefore you can kind of get some things done that you really want to get done and not be in that mindset of like sadness or depression or like feeling guilty for taking time off. But I felt like that was motivation. I kept it positive. I felt like it was motivation for the next day. Like, okay, what could I have done differently? Okay, let me try that the next day, which I did. The next question I asked myself was, what was the weather like? I feel like that was kind of like a random question, but like, again, like I want to be able to feel that day again. Like, was it sunny? Like maybe that could affect my mood based off of like how I felt, right? So I felt that was good. And it was an easy one, right? I put nice and hot, drew a little sun there. I don't know if you guys can see that there. The last two questions were what was your takeaway to enjoy life and let go of fear that I face? I feel like that was a really good question because it's like at the end of the night, right? And I'm asking myself, like, I'm not just letting my day just pass me by. I am actually tuning in that day. What did I learn from that day, right? Because what you learn from that day can be into your future and teach you a lesson, and you could be a better person, right? We all want to work on ourselves. We all want to say we want to do better things, but it's one thing when we say it versus one thing when we're doing it. So my last one, my favorite one was tomorrow's self-care. So I drew like little boxes of like, okay, what can I do tomorrow? For example, can I work out? Can I talk to my subscribers? Can I get on YouTube? Can I share? Can I relax? Can I tell myself good things, right? Those affirmations. I feel like that was really good because sometimes we go throughout our day, regardless if you're taking a break from burnout or whatever you're doing with your life, we tend at night, our mind is like racing. So doing this journal in a positive manner puts your mind at rest in a positive state before going to bed. So therefore in the morning, you're less likely to be thinking about, remember I talked about those deadlines and like my heart palpitating, and I feel like it just puts your heart in a heart, what am I trying to say? It makes you have anxiety, but good anxiety. Not all anxiety is bad anxiety, right? Like that motivation to want to go do the next thing. And so that's why it's like, so my overall message here is to love yourself, take breaks, quit that job if you need to, if you're financially stable. If you can't, take a break, engage with your pets because they love you, engage with your family, and connect to yourself. Figure out what you want for yourself. Figure out what's best for you, right? Find that place in your heart where you can make that decision for yourself. All right, guys, like and subscribe, share. If you have any questions or concerns or what you did for your self-care or your time off or your burnout, drop that in the comment section. I'm pretty sure there's people that are watching this video and want to hear more. And maybe just your simple comment may make someone feel good, right? Or feel more connected, because that's the whole point of these videos, just so I can feel connected to you guys and you guys feel connected to me.